found out my boyfriend is not divorced or childless, and I'm pregnant. That was weird to say it like it was me, because thank God that's not me. No offense, but better you than me, selfishly. Hi, I'm filming from a literal bed right now. And I honestly wish I was like in bed, cozy, filming the video. How fun would that be to be like cozy in bed reading some of these stories? That'd be fun. I don't think anyone would want to watch that, but that would still be fun. Anyways, this is the current setup for this week. Just this week, we're getting a new studio space put together for me in my hometown, but this is just what needs to happen for now. So bear with me, all right? Also, you guys, look at my basket of stuffed animals. Can't live without them. Ever. This story was first posted June 30th, 2019. My boyfriend of almost 2 years has essentially been living a double life. I'm baffled as to how he pulled this off. When we met, he told me that he was on the tail end of a nasty, lengthy divorce, but that he had moved on and it would never pose an issue. And until now, he was right. It never has. Last week, I took a pregnancy test that came back positive, and yesterday morning, I had an OBGYN visit to confirm. I was honestly ecstatic. I've always wanted to be a mom, and my boyfriend felt the same. We talked about our future children many times, even though we haven't been together for the longest time. I was really excited to tell him that night when he came over for dinner, but his reaction was weird. His face went pale, and he looked confused. Not what I expected at all, and he got up to go to the bathroom. When he came back, he was really calm and really serious, and he told me that he was really afraid and didn't know how me and our baby would factor into his life. And he made the decision to come clean. Not only is he nowhere near being divorced from his wife, who he has been with for close to a decade, but they have 2 kids together. 4 and 6. I have no idea how I never had even a clue. He works a lot and really early, which is the reason he would rarely spend nights over. That being said, it's not like he hardly spent any time with me. I'm heartbroken and confused, and his confession left me with absolutely no idea what to do. Okay, wait, is he getting divorced? When you say he's nowhere close to getting divorced, like, so they're fully together. He's just married with 2 kids.
Come on, it's not that serious.
Yes.
I'm still pregnant with his 3rd child, and he is still very much married. There it is. He left right after that conversation, and I've called and texted, but the only response I've gotten is that he will speak to me tomorrow night after work. His demeanor is so cold and unfamiliar that I'm terrified he's going to leave me to figure out this pregnancy on my own. Another part of me doesn't want him anymore. If he is this good of a liar, what else has he lied about? What else could he lie about? I also would hate to break up a family like this. I feel disgusted in this whole situation. I've never felt more alone and confused. Should I be preemptive and leave him, or are there other ways I could go about this? I don't even know how you stay. He's married with children. Update. I think it's clear that I need to leave him, but that's about all that is clear for me right now. I want to be a mom, but these are the worst circumstances for that I can imagine. I'm trying to think of ways to contact his wife, and I can't think of any. I do believe I was at the house where they once lived at one point, but he has moved since then. Allegedly. So I have no idea what the new address is. I can't seem to piece this together at all. I don't understand how I was fooled for so long. I think I'm still in shock. To recap, I am leaving. I'm not sure if I want to have an abortion, and as much as I want to tell his wife, I have no way of doing that. I guess I'll wait until he speaks with me tomorrow. Thank you guys. If you like updates, I'll keep posting. Spoiler alert, she kept posting. We got a lot of updates. The next little update came again on the same post. I found his wife through a website someone sent me. I was gonna say, girl, send it my way. I will track her down. I got it, all right? Private investigator over here. You need to find your ex? Let me help. He wasn't lying when he said he had no social media, but she does. Seeing the pictures of them made me realize I cannot keep our child. His family is beautiful, and it breaks my heart to know he could do this to them. I cannot have the father of my child be someone like him. I still have no idea how to tell his wife. This is gonna get messy. Hi, Future Joss coming at you. I just want to put a trigger warning out for this story, that the story does talk and mention abortion. So I want to put that out there, but continue on to the story. Let's check out the top comments so far, because I want to see what people are saying. First comment, he's going to leave you. Oh, I guess we woke up and chose aggressive today. You are just the side piece to a very immoral and a selfish man. Do not expect him to do anything decent to anyone. Not to you, not to his wife, and not to his other children. This pregnancy with this side piece is not going to change him into a good person. Decide what you... What the fuckery do? That was trippy. My phone just started playing something. End your relationship with him and decide what you are going to do about your pregnancy. If you are going to have a baby and be a mom, you will at some point have to inform his family so that you can get child support. I suggest talking to a lawyer before you do anything, because you could easily financially screw this up for your kid's future. If you're going to have an abortion, then the question about telling his wife is a different beast. I personally would, because I think she needs to know the type of person he is so she can protect herself, and in part for petty revenge. Are you guys telling the wife? If this is you, are you reaching out and finding the wife and telling her everything that happened? Let me know. Next comment. Oh, my heart breaks for you. You absolutely need to leave. You will never trust him. Ever. Decide if you want to keep this baby as a single mom. He will have to provide you child support, most likely. Yes, he will have to tell his wife, and if she's smart, she will also leave. She has the right to know. Please remember, you did not destroy this family. He did that. He alone did that. You have a ton of emotions right now, and I don't blame you for being confused, but please, walk away. Who is close to you that you can confide in? This is also an epic betrayal, and I advise you to see a therapist as you navigate the next year. All these people looking out for her. I mean, the second comment was a little more like graceful and less harsh, but sometimes the truth just hurts, you know? So we have an official update that came the next day. So I wanted to get this up as soon as possible because honestly, I never want to think about this again. I met with my ex this morning instead of after work because I guess neither of us could wait any longer to end this nightmare. I can't tell what's true and what isn't. All I know is my life has pretty much been torn to shreds. I went from confirming my pregnancy to this mess in basically no time at all. The last 24 hours have been the hardest of my life. Before I get into the conversation I had with my ex, I wanted to clear up a couple of points that people kept bringing up. Yes, I have been to his house. I'll explain the quotations better. We both work a lot and I never really minded spending much time at his place. His story was that after his divorce, he was left with the house to himself and he got some bad roommates. He was kind of touchy about the subject, but we talked about it once and it had to do with feeling weird about having roommates in his late 30s. He was allegedly in the process of selling the house after his roommates left, so we stopped going there often since it was semi-packed up. It made enough sense to me, and since I live alone, I always preferred him being at my place anyway. So no, I didn't spend 2 years not knowing where my boyfriend lived. I spent 1 year and 7 months simply spending more time at my place together. The second point is how I got pregnant in the first place. We didn't plan for a baby. We didn't try for a baby. We simply decided that if it happened, it happened. He had this whole mentality about living in the moment and happy accidents and such, supposedly due to how his marriage ended. I love that it's all in quotations because we know that it didn't even happen. So I stopped using birth control and he would sometimes not use rubbers. Come on guys, accidental pregnancies happen all the time. The last point is about my decision to terminate the pregnancy. I don't care about anyone else's stance on the subject. This is my life and my choice. For reasons that will become clearer when I get to how my conversation with my ex went, this is the most painful and confusing thing I've ever had to deal with. Yes, I would love to be a mother, but I'm in no rush. I know things rarely turn out as planned, but this is a terrible environment to bring a child into, and I'm not subjecting my child to the emotional turmoil that I am currently going through. I cannot have a healthy pregnancy with the state of mind I'm in right now, and I'd rather put this behind me and wait to raise a child with someone who truly loves me so they can have the life that they deserve. I would be selfish to have the baby just because it's what I want. I have to think about what's best for my future child, and this is not it. Since this happened so quickly, it's literally been a day since the bomb dropped. I'll take some more time to think about it, but I think my stance is firm. Now, on to what you all came for. Hold on. I need to stretch. I need to get ready. I need to get ready for this bullshit of a conversation that I know is about to happen. He's gonna lie through his teeth. Can't wait. You guys ready? Oh my God, perfect time. Let's take a sip of water first. Let's take a sip. Hydrate before the storm. Cheers. I almost didn't cheers you. I'm so sorry. I spoke to my ex over the phone and later outside of a coffee shop. I took y'all's advice to not be with him alone. I have no idea if any of what he told me was true, but I plan on never speaking to him again, so it's the closest to the truth that I will ever get. His demeanor was very odd. He looked almost close to tears, but his tone and what he was saying was cold and emotionless, and almost like he was debriefing me and not apologizing. Here is his story. His wife and him got married 10 years ago when she got pregnant. She was 18 at the time and her family is very Christian, so they married while she was pregnant and eventually they lost the child. Okay, bad time to burp. I'm so sorry. Since then, he has felt trapped in his marriage but couldn't bring himself to leave, as he describes his wife as very sweet, innocent, and a fragile person with very strong views on marriage and very high hopes for the relationship. After having their 2 kids, she became very focused on them, and he started to stray from his marriage at this point. He claims that it wasn't until he met me that he realized just how dead his marriage was. Being the coward that he is, instead of leaving his wife, he decided to just start another life with me, completely separately. This is where his lies started to get messy. He does have a job, but it turns out he works from home. So that's where he was when he was at the office. His co-worker and work friends I met are kind of like partners, but they're all independent and don't see each other too much, which is why he was okay introducing them to me. They had no idea about his wife. In hindsight, I was very stupid to never think about meeting more of his friends, but neither of us are extremely social. While with me, he would tell his wife that he was out with clients, running errands, or on a business trip. All things he did legitimately have to do for his job. The house I visited wasn't his, which is why there was no sign of children. It is his brother's house. He works out of town a lot, so when I'd be over would be when my ex was house sitting. Oh my gosh. His story about moving in with roommates after his divorce, that actually is what happened to his brother. It was his brother that was in the process of selling his house after his roommates left, not him. So it turns out he does have family nearby. It gets more complicated, too much to type out, but his web of lies is very detailed, very well thought out, and unfortunately for everyone but him, very well executed, somewhat through sheer dumb luck, but I am 100% sure he has had a practice living a double life. And this really would be believable because he could even like take pictures at his brother's house of it being packed up, and then when she's over, it looks like it's being packed up because it was, but it's not his house. Yeah, I would have fallen for it too, to be honest. This could all be lies, but this next part is the strangest to me. He claims that when we had the conversation to stop birth control and have kids, he had a different conversation with himself. He decided he was happier with me, and if a baby came along, that's when he would cut things off with his wife. But that makes no sense. Would he be cutting off his children too? Was he planning on ever telling me? He said that when the moment came and he found out that I was pregnant, he felt unexpected panic and reconsidered his life. and decided he couldn't leave his family. I guess that explains the confusion on his face when I told him. He then came to the conclusion that the best course of action would be to end things with me and ask me to get an abortion, and that we would be on our merry ways and he could go back to his life. He still thinks I have no way of knowing who his wife is, and I have no way of contacting her. Nope. Though he doesn't need to worry about having a third kid, I cannot in good conscience let this man continue to lie to his wife, who sounds completely clueless. I took the advice of one of you and recorded the conversation on my phone. Oh my God, the wife is going to hear this recording. So he can't even deny it. Just when I thought it was messy, grab a frickin' Swiffer and buckle the f up. It's a garbage recording, but there's just enough that's audible to keep as evidence. I'm going to spend some time compiling all I have and thinking of ways I could help her out of this marriage disaster, and then I will contact her. The reason I want to help her is because I feel I am playing a part in the ending of her marriage, and I feel obligated to help if she will allow me. I did not give him any indication that I will be doing this. I told him I just never wanted to see him again and leave this in the past, which is true, but I want his wife to make the same decision. I'm sorry for the novel. Thank you everyone for your love and support. I missed so many red flags about his friends, family, his home, everything, but I was blindly in love, and hindsight is 2020. So much of this still doesn't make sense and never will, and part of me believes that his explanations and confessions are fabricated and the truth is a lot messier. But I'll never know, so I can't hold on to that. I'm considering moving to put this all behind me. Again, thank you for your input and guidance. My brain is still such a mess and it'll take a long time to heal, but you guys have helped me go in the right direction. Yeah, I also don't think that this version of the story is true. I think he had time to make up the excuses and lies, but I think it 100% is a lot messier. For sure. Anyways, let's check out some more comments. Let's see what people are thinking, because we do have a final update. It doesn't stop there. It's Christmas Day. It's the gift that keeps on giving. First comment, I am 100% with you on all your choices, but saying you didn't plan for a baby and that it was an accident, while simultaneously saying I didn't use birth control and he didn't use a rubber, is the dumbest thing I've read today. It's called NTNP, not trying, not preventing, and can be considered a method of trying to conceive. I really, really hope this is a crap post. Ooh, so some people are hoping that this is fake and untrue. Next comment. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Don't kid yourself that she's going to want your help though. Odds are she will partly blame you for everything he's done and will want nothing to do with you. She may even decide to stay with him, even after knowing everything. You said she's from a Christian background and they often put forgiveness above everything and they stay married for the sake of the children, no matter how angry and unhappy they are. So don't be surprised if she blows up on you and defends him. That would suck. Very possible though, I do get that. It could happen. A lot of people find out their partner cheated and they still stay and they believe they can change, or they don't believe it ever happened at all. So let's check out the final update. This one came 5 days later. First, I'd like to address that the pregnancy was not unexpected, but not explicitly planned. Accidental was not the right word, but I'm aware on how babies are made. I was in a sense of trying to get pregnant, but only because my ex lied to me and convinced me that he was on board. I'm not going to sit here and explain the ins and outs and how I was duped. I was stupid and missed some flags, but I absolutely planned on bringing a child into what I expected would be a healthy, safe, loving environment. That environment is not real. I am not ready to be a mother under the current circumstances. I am not emotionally or mentally fit to carry out a pregnancy, and I am most definitely not going to put a child through the adoption system. It is just not a guarantee of a good life, and I can't in good conscience do that. For those and other reasons I've explained before, I have begun the process of getting an abortion. I don't even like saying the word because I know it can trigger a lot of people. So that's why I put a trigger warning. I'm trying to be sensitive to everybody. I collected photographs, videos, screenshots of texts, and everything I could find as evidence to show to my ex's wife. I tried to find texts in which he referred being divorced or just any lies to prove that I am not at fault, but I needed y'all's warnings to not try and help her or push her too far since I don't know how she would receive this news. I simply found her on social media, sent her all the pictures and screenshots, and a short rundown on what her husband has been doing for 2 days. It took her a day for her to respond, but all she said was, "Thank you." And once I saw that, I blocked her. I have not heard from anyone, and I hope that I never have to hear or think about this situation again. It is behind me. I have no idea what happened with my ex and his wife, and I probably never will. We got some more top comments because people be given their thoughts. They're going ham. First comment, one of the hardest lessons of my life was learning that if someone is damned and determined to lie to you, it is hard to detect. And what a punch to the gut when the truth comes out. Ugh. This is a risk we run when we deal with people. But just like having a car wreck is unfortunate, it doesn't keep us from driving or using cars. We take reasonable precautions and just keep on because the benefit outweigh the risks. Just as they do in relationships. P.S. Thank you for sending the info to his wife. That was the kindest, best thing to do. I was the wife. I wish someone would have done that for me. Okay, yeah, if we were on the wife's side of things, would you want to know? I will always be absolutely. If someone came out and told me that news, I would be thankful that they did that. Of course, you're furious and heartbroken, but everyone deserves to know the truth. Next comment, hope the best for you. I don't know if I would have blocked her, but it's because of curiosity to see if she has something else to tell you. But I think you did best to continue and begin your new life, so stay strong and good luck. Next comment, why did you block her? OP wrote back saying, I want this situation behind me. I don't need to intrude on her and her family's life anymore. I think I wouldn't have blocked her because she probably has a million questions and I have the answers to them and I have the truth. But I also get saying my job here is done and good riddance and good luck. And I did what I had to do and I'm out of here. Let me know what you guys would do in this entire situation. I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy.